Now listen, what are we saying about VAR? Like, is VAR good for football or is it bad for football? So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Football with Priscilla. I am Priscilla, obviously. So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So ladies and gentlemen, today I just want to talk about a controversial topic that is going through waves in the football world that is annoying, frankly, everybody. And I am one of that everybody. So I just want to talk about the little thing called VAR. Now, it's just a small thing that is causing so much anxiety in the football world. But before we get into the video for today, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on to know when next I post a video. Now listen, what are we saying about VAR? Like, is VAR good for football or is it bad for football? Now I will say this, okay? VAR in and itself, I think, is not wrong. What I think is wrong really is the people behind VAR, because I feel like if we used VAR, right, to check whether the decision of the referee was right or wrong, I think in that area it would be okay. But I feel like VAR is being used or weaponized at this point for people to decide what they think is right in football and what they think is not right in football. Like if VAR was just going there to check, like, okay, the referee said it's a red card, but we're saying it's not. Yes. But now people are using VAR saying, okay, in my opinion, that's the person, the video assistant referee, right, up there, is saying, okay, in my opinion, that's a subjective penalty, and therefore I'm calling it as a penalty. And now it's literally like VAR is just a fancy name to say it's the referees that are just using a camera, right? Because they're basically calling the shots anyway, whether it's a free, whether it's an offside or not. It's still up to the referees that are up there with the monitors who would think, okay, I'm deciding it's an offside, right? So like for me, I think the idea behind VAR wasn't bad. It's the application behind VAR that has just been horrible. Now, to give a few examples of how horrible VAR has been, Manchester United game, Arsenal's game when Newcastle scored that goal, which for me, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's a foul. Any day, if that was against a Manchester United, if that was a Manchester United player doing that to someone else, it would have been called out as a foul. Anytime, any day, right? But then the problem is, it's like it's picky, right? And that's what's pissing off the fans, and that's what's upsetting me, is because what Rashford did, right, was a red card. But in the Liverpool game, I don't know who that guy's name is, he did the exact same thing, but it wasn't a red card, right? So it's like there's so much inconsistency, and that's what's upsetting so many people. If we're going to say that what Rashford did is dangerous play and can break a player's leg, fine, we agree, right? We all want players to be safe. Then say the same thing in each and every game, regardless of who is playing, regardless of what's at stake. But if it's against Manchester United, you say that's dangerous play and Marcus Rashford deserves a penalty, and maybe the final is, let's say, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and you're saying, okay, no, I can't give the red card because it will ruin the game. Then what sense does that make? If a decision is going to be a red card, let it be a red card all across the board. UEFA Champions League, Premier League, Europa League, FA Cup, La Liga, let it be that. But the inconsistencies are what's pissing people off. Now I know Arteta came out to say, like, I know Arteta came out with his words and he was very angry, and was also and so was Arsenal Football Club, which was justifiable why they were pissed. I mean, these are points that are being dropped. At the end of the day, no one is gonna say, oh, let's fire VAR. They'll all say fire Arteta. No one's going to say, oh, let's fire VAR. They'll fire Klopp, who has justifiably been against VAR in many decisions. There's no one who's going to say, oh no, let's fire VAR. They're gonna fire who? Eric Ten Hag. I mean, listen, the decisions against Manchester United yesterday were absolutely ridiculous. Like, I get the Rashford one, I understand it, but the guy wasn't even looking at the other player. He literally just turned, which is what most players do. The unfortunate part is there was someone's leg there, right? If it's the penalty, like, that game was just like, on any other day, you'd almost think that Copenhagen paid off the referees, but obviously that's just like That's a bold statement to make, which is not true, maybe. But if someone, right, came and just watched that game and they didn't understand the issue of VAR and everything, they'll literally think that game was sold off, right? They'll think the referee was playing on behalf of Copenhagen, because in a blink of an eye, Manchester United were having an amazing game yesterday, by the way. And in a blink of an eye, a decision by VAR changed the whole game. And that's the thing. Small decisions by VAR are able to change the game. So it now begs the question, is VAR helping football, or is it taking football back? And should we keep VAR, or should we go back to the wonderful decisions the referees used to make, that used to make iconic moments like the Maradona moment? Because at this point, it's frustrating. And for me, I don't have a problem with the reason the VAR was introduced, right? I don't have a problem with VAR in and itself. So I watch tennis, right? So I understand how it's important to have such technology. It helps when you want to know if the ball is out. It helps if you want to know if the ball is in. It's helped a lot in a lot of ways for tennis. And I actually thought it would help for football, but it looks like it's just bringing football back. And I think the problem is not VAR in and of itself. The problem is the referees. It's that they are not decided. I think they should change. I don't know if they have a code. I don't know if they have laws, whatever they have, a constitution. They should set the laws where it's not. Listen, I don't think refereeing decisions should be subjective. It should be what it is. If a player steps on a player's ankle, red card. If a player who touches the ball in the penalty box, whether it's a natural or unnatural position, it's a penalty, right? If a player pushes his friend in the penalty box, whether the player did not know that the person was near them, whether it was a simple push, whether it was a hard push, it's a penalty. Those should be set in law and not subjective. What the hell do you mean subjective? Subjective means if I wake up in a good mood and I think that's not a penalty, then I will not give it as a penalty. But if I'm in a bad mood and I think it's a penalty, oh my god, you will do everything to me, but I will say that's a penalty. So this whole subjective decisions, was it clear and obvious? Like, someone needs to sit and explain to us, like, what does it mean by clear and obvious? But just because something is not clear and obvious doesn't mean it means it's a penalty or anything. So they should come and explain to us what clear and obvious is, subjective penalties is. They should just literally explain to us what will make a referee decide, oh, everything that my friends have been deciding this whole time was wrong, what I've decided today is right. Because the inconsistency are very, very ridiculous at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a whole conversation to be had about VAR. It's very interesting, and I would love to hear the people's thoughts. And for me, I'm very fed up because I think it's not being used the way we intend for it to be used. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, those are my thoughts on VAR. Kindly comment down in the comment section what you guys think about VAR. So that's all I had for you guys today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on to know when next I post a video. Bye.